So this is our new project of the week. I would call it shaded diamonds or shaded pyramids. We are going to use a ruler, pencil, and an eraser, and we're going to take that and we're going to create this awesome project. Okay, this is a simple shading project. All you're going to need is your white piece of drawing paper. You're going to need a ruler, a regular pencil, and an eraser. Okay, so basically what this assignment is set up to do, or what this practice is set up to do, is just to make you more skillful at shading and to just develop your skills creating three-dimensional images on two-dimensional paper. Okay, so it's going to take a few steps for us to do this. It's going to take basically 4 steps. The first step is you're going to draw lines using your ruler across your paper, going from edge to edge, about 6 or 7 of those lines. Then we're going to put dots in each shape that we create. We're going to draw lines from those dots to the corners of the shapes. And afterwards, the shading starts. Then at the end, we'll clean everything up and make it look nice and sharp. So I'm going to start off by taking my ruler, and I'm going to draw 6 or 7 lines going throughout my paper. And if you're wondering why I have this taped down, it's just so that it won't move while I'm working. I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to lay down my ruler and I'm going to start with my first random line. It doesn't have to be exactly where mine's at, but we're just going to create some random lines on the paper. There's 1, there's 2, and if you notice, I'm using my ruler, I'm holding it straight with my left hand, and then I'm drawing with my right hand. I don't want my ruler to move, so I got to hold it stable on paper. I have 3 lines now. There's 4 lines. Line number 5. And I want them to go all the way through the paper. So what I might not be able to do is put my ruler like that, because if I put my ruler inside of the paper, it's not going from edge to edge. So I kind of want to work around the corners. So I got about 5 lines or so right now. I'm going to create a couple more. There's 6 lines. Line number 7, just right there. And I've got some decent space to work with. This space right here is kind of big, so I'm going to go ahead and break that up. So I'm drawing 8 lines, no big deal. And now I have all of these shapes all around my paper. Within each one of those shapes, I'm going to put a dot, just like so. With my pencil, I'm going to go into each shape and I'm going to create a dot. Even those little shapes, it doesn't have to be perfectly in the center, but it needs to be inside, just like so. This is a really small area. I'm not going to concern myself with that one because it's just super small. I'm putting in the dots into place, just like so. Done. For step number 3, what you want to do is you want to take your ruler and you want to begin to connect those dots. So I'm going to take this dot and connect it into this corner. This dot goes into this corner, this dot into this corner, this dot into this corner. And I'm going to do that in each particular shape. Each and every shape, excuse me. This may be a little bit time consuming, but you want to get it right before you move forward into the 3rd step, which is the shading. So yeah, it may take a little bit of time. In the corner or the edge of the paper, yes, I'm considering that a dot. I mean a corner, not a dot. That's the dot there. All right, here's another one, very small. I'm going to do the same thing. Dot to the corner, dot to the corner, dot to the corner, just like so, okay? And we're going to just continue to do that. And what's happening, if you look at the paper, you're starting to see that the shapes are going to start looking 3-dimensional, okay? Your shapes are starting to look 3-dimensional. And if you miss one, you can always go back. I missed one right here. This dot should go to this corner right here also. So I'll go right on back and I'll just fix my mistake. No big deal. Here's another one here. So you got to account for every single corner and draw a line going from the dot to the corner of the paper. Next shape. And that's why I said we only want to get about 6 or 7 lines in. I said I ended up drawing 8 lines in step number 1 because I had some really big open spaces. But if you start drawing too many lines, you're gonna have a bunch of little shapes, and what also can happen is you can get a little bit confused, and it's just gonna take you way more time than what you need. The real objective here is to develop your skills at shading. The underdrawing is very important because if you got the underdrawing right, it's more likely that you're gonna be successful with the shading as well, because you're gonna know exactly what to do and where to go. Okay, and you just keep on doing this, connecting all of the dots, just like so. All right. Some of your shapes may be 3-sided. That means that you're drawing three lines from that dot. If you have a 4-sided shape, then you're drawing 4 lines from that dot. If you have a 5-sided shape, you're drawing 5 lines from that dot. Okay? Keep that in mind while you're connecting the dots. Dot to corner, dot to corner. I know I keep saying it, but I just want to make sure you all remember it, okay? So just keep on rolling, keep rocking and rolling. You'll get there eventually. I am not trying to rush. I'm taking my time. No need to rush. When you're creating art, don't feel like you need to rush yourself. Take your time. Take your time, do it right, and you'll be more satisfied with what you do. In regards to me and the paintings that I create, my paintings can take me 20 or 30 hours to complete them before I even feel like it's right and I can present it to the world. Sometimes even longer. But I tell you what, the more time I take, it seems like the more people like the painting. So, you know, I know some people work faster. Everybody's gonna have a little bit different pace, but just don't feel like you have to rush through this, okay? You see me developing it, and now I have all these 3D shapes that are popping up, and it looks sort of like a diamond, you know, something of that nature, or little pyramids coming up out of the ground if you were looking over it. Whatever your imagination brings you to. Take your time, don't rush. Don't get frustrated. And you know, we all make mistakes, and sometimes we get to a point when we're creating something that we no longer want to work on it. I understand that. What I don't want you to do, however, is give up. If you get frustrated and you feel like you started off wrong, say, you know what? I learned my lesson. I know what to do next. Take that piece of paper, flip it over, try it again. Okay? Don't ball up your paper out of frustration and throw it. You're learning. It's not gonna be perfect. I've done this project a lot of times. So, you know, I might have more success than you, I might not. But I'm gonna take my time and be patient. Work at a good pace so I can get it done. All right. And this is a type of project, you know, you don't want to sit down all at once and complete it, because it can get monotonous and boring if you sit there and you try to complete it all at once. You want to break it up. 30 minutes one day, put it away. 30 minutes the next day, put it away. Day number 3, another 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Day number 4, put another 30, 40 minutes into it. Day number 5, you're basically at the point where you should be very close to being done. Wrap it up on day number 5, clean it up. You got yourself a completed piece of art. All right. So I'm almost done with the drawing portion, creating all of my pyramids. Now we'll go into the shading portion. We're going to work in 4 values or shades. We're going to work in dark, medium, light, and white, okay? Now some of our shapes might have 5 sides, so maybe you'll have a dark, a medium light, then a light, and then a white. Okay? So you're going to use the pressure of your pencil to create those different values. One way that you can approach this is that on your first day when you start shading, you shade all dark values in. Then the next day you shade in all medium values. Then day number 3 you shade in all light medium values or light values. And then day 4 you work on those light values, go back over, develop some of your shading, make it smoother. And then on that final day you're just kind of cleaning things up. If you got smudges from your hands, you can erase, things of that nature. So with the shading, I'm going to just show you a couple, show you what I mean. I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to move in a smooth, circular, consistent motion to create a dark value. I'm pressing basically as hard as I can on that paper without breaking my lid, okay? Just like so, I completed value number 1, okay? Now I'm going to move over here and I'm going to create a lighter value. I would say a medium tone. I'm going in like long circular motions, so it looks kind of like I'm going up and down, but I also have like a circular motion going in. Okay, and as you can see, now I've got myself a more medium value. I'm going to move over here and I'm going to go into a lighter shading value. So I'm pressing very lightly. I want it as smooth as possible. It's kind of hard for me to hold my pencil like this because I can't move my paper. So maybe mine's not super smooth because of that. But take your time and make it as smooth as you can make it. Go over it a little bit, smooth it out a little bit, get rid of some of those lines. And now you see I have the darker value, the medium value, the light value, and this triangle right here, I'm going to leave it white, just like so. Okay, I'm going to move to this next shape over here. Now I'm going to make it a lighter value. The reason I'm doing that is because when shapes are sitting side by side together, I want to try not to make the same value. So if I make a dark here, I don't want to make it dark here because I don't want it to look like they blend in together. I'm going to move over here, do the same thing, just like so. Now I got a darker value going right here. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just start to continue my shading process. Right here, going to get a little bit lighter. I'd say this is a medium value here. Consistent strokes, because I want my shading to look smooth, okay? Very consistent strokes. I'm going to move over here. I'm going to create a light value. So I'm barely pressing on the paper, creating that light value. If I see some line in my shading, what I can do is towards the end of the project, I can go back in and smooth those lines out, okay? I'm gonna leave this one white, and now you can see it's creating a 3-dimensional quality to the work, all right? I can't wait to see you guys work and see what you've done. Be patient, you'll do a great job. Stay focused, 30-40 minutes a day, 5 days during you can get this done, no problem, okay? When you're all done, this is what the project should look like. This was completed by one of my previous students and they did a really great job. The student was in 6th grade last year. You see they have all the pyramid points, all of those shapes, and they have each value shaded in properly. You see that 3-dimensional quality. I look forward to seeing what yours looks like when you're done. I know you're all gonna do a great job. All right, Thank you.